It's uh, the McNuggets. It's people.
Maybe, but they're
Oh,
delicious. You are listening to Chicagoland's finest podcast. The all-new Culture Cast begins now. And you're back again with the all-new Culture Cast. I'm Nick, and with me today is...
Cousin Charles back again.
Hello, Cousin Charles. It's great to have you back. Since we last talked, which technically was only like 2 or 3 episodes ago, it's actually been much, much longer because life has been interrupting pretty much everyone on the podcast for us to
Yes,
actually get together and do something. Since we last talked, you had gotten married, and
I had been.
more importantly, we survived the almost divorce of Sony and Disney from
Yeah,
of Spider-Man no longer happening, but luckily that turned out okay.
yeah, glad we dodged a bullet there.
I'm uh I'm not convinced that was a real dispute. I'm conspiracy theory mode. Get Alex Jones on the phone, but I'm almost wondering if that was all a ruse to build up not
Hype.
fan yeah hype or something. Because the Spider-Man Far From Home Coming Part 2 Electric Boogaloo just came out, and Endgame was big, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know what hype it would have actually
Well,
created, but I could see it being like, like maybe they had some minor disagreement, and they just like played it up in the media like, oh yeah, Spider-Man's never coming back.
well, you see, Nick. Disney only made most of the money in the world. The goal, as we will discuss later in today's episode, is they want to make all the money. But yeah, I wasn't. I'll be honest, I was not worried at all. If any loyal listeners were actually worried,
You're an
don't
idiot.
comment. I don't want to. Yeah, you bought into it, you sucker. I can't believe you fell for it. It's the oldest trick in the book.
Yeah, so there's that, but now that everyone's all happy again for another couple movies, so I wonder if that means that if Venom, Tom Hardy's Venom will now show up in the next Avengers movie. Because if so,
I've,
I'm in all the way.
unlike my fellow culture casters, I have unfortunately not seen the Venom movie. I don't know if it's good or if it's like it's so good it's
It's the
bad.
greatest movie ever made in the history of movies.
Well, that can't simply be true. I've seen Time Wiseau's The Room.
Better than that. I don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is today we're going to talk about the newest streaming platform out there, McClunky Plus.
But a bing.
Disney's pluses, where we're going to talk about all the pluses and minuses. I guess the launch was kind of a Disney minus, from what I've understood. Streaming service of launched by Disney. Did I say it was a Disney product? Because it's a Disney product.
Oh,
For only $6.99 a month, I think you can get all the Disney and Marvel and Star Wars and National Geographic you want, and also Pixar.
yep. And also Fox is tossed in there because you get The Simpsons too.
Yeah, which had its own set of controversy, which it's weird why they did that. Apparently, we'll just jump right into it. But apparently, when they brought The Simpsons onto the streaming service, as opposed to having it in its original aspect format, which was like the 4:3, like the earlier episodes, they like expanded it to 19:6, or the widescreen, or whatever you want to call it, which caused like the tops and bottoms of the screen to be cut off, which cut out a lot of gags. And of course, the internet was upset because that's what the internet does nowadays. And I guess Disney's apparently going to fix it in the near future here. So that's good, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like, but that's also kind of like, well, you're just fixing a problem that you created that could have easily been avoided.
Well,
Um,
I'm not going to be too upset about that because my guess is, from what I've heard, that this has been a problem for Simpson repeats for quite a while. So my guess is they just got the master tapes from whoever they get the tapes from, uploaded it without watching all 7,000 Simpson episodes, and
right.
didn't really realize it. And then until someone pointed out, like, oh well, all right, we'll fix it. I mean, at least they're like
Yeah,
acknowledging, like, all right, well, we'll see what we can do to fix it, versus like, nah, shut up, you plebes. Give us our
Yeah,
$6.99, and you shut up. Here's Avengers number 78. Thor takes
yeah.
a crap. Anyway, we're here talking about Disney Plus, the newest streaming service that's out there, which apparently has already made back his money because like everyone and their mother has signed up for it, except for me. I don't know if you signed up. I know you were talking about it the other week, and
I,
we.
last weekend I was left alone to my own devices, and yes,
You're like, hey,
I
look, a
bought into
credit card. I can do something with this.
yes, I bought into the mouse schemes. So I'm now member 1,200,052 or something
Do they
like
really
that.
give you a number? Because that would be pretty
No,
cool if they do.
yeah, because well, eventually Disney's going to own everything, so might as well start it early.
I'm not against this Disney Plus. It makes total sense. I mean, it has a lot of product. They can support their own streaming service with plenty of things for people to watch. Plenty of mainstream stuff. Plenty of like I don't want to say independent stuff, but I mean they got the Fox stuff that they're going to put up there. I don't know if they're doing this now. I meant to look it up. I didn't. If they're going to put down like their other labels like Touchstone and Buena Vista, like from the 80s and 90s, where they had like where they put their more mature content on there. Like it's not like a kids movie, but you know it's still a Disney-owned
Right.
property. So
It,
like I'm all for it. It makes total sense versus something like CBS All Access, which uh,
that's
or
I get that's its own can of worms.
or the DC Universe app. I mean, how narrowly focused can you get for an app? As much as I like DC Comics, it's kind of like, come on, guys, let's
Well,
get serious here. Let's talk more specifically about Disney Plus. The big thing about Disney Plus, and I'm all for this. I mean, I know I have two little girls, and honestly, I'm quite intrigued. I know I'll eventually get a subscription to Disney Plus, but I don't see that happening anytime in the near-ish future. I say that, and then next week I'll have like a subscription. But
yeah,
be like, I want to watch Avengers Endgame. I don't want to go to the store. All right, for $6, I'll get that and everything else.
yeah.
But it's a brilliant idea. I applaud them. I'm surprised Disney didn't try doing something like this sooner. But yeah, so they're launching a ton of different content, like
Mhm.
9,000 Marvel shows, at least two or three Star Wars shows. We got one on right now, The Mandalorian.
Uh,
Um,
which, which spoilers? I have seen the first two of that. It's pretty good, pretty good.
I hear there's like a Baby Yoda, which sounds absolutely stupid, but whatever.
It.
Um,
Did you like? Hey Nick, let me ask you this. Did you like Gizmo from Gremlins?
I'm indifferent towards Gizmo from Gremlin.
Okay, well, just imagine if you took Gizmo and you painted him green.
So if you put water on him, does he spout out like evil Yodas?
I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, why not? Disney, we're giving you free ideas right here, right now.
Does Disney own Gremlins? Somehow I feel they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But
I hope, I hope not. I mean, but who knows? I mean, we
um,
all know the Illuminati owns everything, right? Uh,
so yeah,
you're talking about Marvel, the
yeah.
Star Wars.
They say that there's over 7,000 television episodes. Yeah, so it has a lot of stuff going on for it. It appeals to a lot of different things. I don't have much to say about it in a general sense, because I think it's a smart move. Apparently,
Mhm.
the opening day was a disaster for some people, and everyone's complaining like, "Oh, it's the Disney Plus sucks because it keeps crashing." Like, well, yeah, of course, because everyone and their mother is trying to sign up for the damn thing at the same time. It's too much for the system to handle. But apparently, that's all worked out now. But
Yeah. To all those naysayers, you should show me a launch of a product of an online digital software product that has no hiccups, no crashes, no bugs, and I will show you 12 four-leaf clovers. Like it's kind of one of those things like you kind of expect it. You know what I mean? Like I think I got mine. I think it launched. I think it premiered on the service was available on the 12th. I think I got mine. I signed up for mine on like the 16th. So I think by then, most of the big bugs, most big crashes, I think were mostly worked out by that point. So it's one of those things you just kind of expect. And anybody who's like, what? It wasn't perfectly smooth from day one? How dare they? Is just kind of just complaining just for the sake of complaining.
hmm But yeah, so let's go into the meat of this,
Ooh.
and let's talk about some of the shows. So I opened up. I have a list here. I wrote down on paper because apparently I want to pretend I'm a boomer, even though I'm not. And
Okay, boomer.
okay, boomer. So I'm going to go through some of these,
Hmm.
and we'll talk about some of the good stuff and some of the bad stuff, and we'll go from there. So when it comes to original programming. Well, let's start with The Mandalorian, the first Star Wars movie, not movie, show. Yeah, first Star Wars show, first live action Star Wars show ever that has been
Yep,
done. So you've seen it,
I
but
have.
I've seen previews. The production value looks good. It has a decent enough cast. What you said it was pretty good. What's your take?
I had a, yeah, no, I will say, like, in terms of, like, well, definitely kind of I will say this, in terms of, like, a statement about, like, what the service is going to try to offer, you can't, The Mandalorian kind of is a pretty big one. The it's, I've kind of said this about Rogue One, where I'm like, this is, like, the world's most expensive fan film.
Mm,
And the Mandalorian's a pretty close second. I mean, production. I mean, from a pure production standpoint of like, hey, this is technically considered a television series. It's on par in terms of like effects, in terms of like sets, in terms of acting that you would get with with a major with like a blockbuster release. Like, it's pretty. It's actually pretty impressive. Um, so far, I mean, the story itself is pretty. I mean, so far, there's only, like I said, at the time of this recording, only the first two episodes. I've only seen the first two episodes. Um, I don't want to go into. There really isn't too much spoilers because the show is pretty bare bones. Like, there's really not much. I don't want to say there's not much to it, but it's not like there's some shows where you're like, well, then this happened, then this happened. It's like, no, it's pretty basic. It's kind of just like, okay, our protagonist, the Mandalorian, is given a mission. He goes on that mission, and some like stuff happens, but nothing really like. It's kind of like when people like recap an episode of like Game of Thrones or something, and it's like people write paragraphs. It's like, no, you can pretty much summarize the what happens in the first couple episodes, you know, pretty briefly. Definitely, like in terms of a statement of like, hey, our streaming service is going to kick your streaming service's ass. Definitely quality can't be beaten because like I watch like for example the Marvel Netflix shows.
mm-hmm.
I enjoyed a lot of them. But you can definitely tell that they're smaller scale in terms of budget. Like the cameras are like you're not going to get the same. It's not going to look the same. You can watch a scene from a Marvel from the Netflix shows like Daredevil or something like that, but you're never going to confuse it for like a scene from the actual Marvel movies. Here, the quality definitely is on par with that. Now, in terms of the story they're trying to tell, that's a different story. That's a different thing altogether. I think it's pretty good. I think it's entertaining. I don't know how it's going to shake out in the long run because, again, the first episode I think was like 40 minutes. The second episode's like just like 30, which in the world of streaming, like I would say most streaming shows, like at least on Netflix, if you're going to binge a series, is most of them are usually like 45 minutes, I would say, on average.
Yeah.
Like, we're like a Stranger Things or something like that. Like, so it's kind of one of those things where it's definitely, you're not getting a quantity, but you are, I think, there's definitely an argument for at least getting in terms of quality, in terms of just pure how much money we're throwing at the screen. But so far, I'm enjoying it. But yeah, definitely interested to see what they're going to do, or if this evolves into anything else.
Okay. Well, it's already been renewed for a second season, so they got that going for them. And I don't know. I might check it out if I ever get the plus. Do people
Yeah.
calling that the plus? Or is that just an internet
Um,
joke?
I think that's just the internet joke. Personally, I feel like a missed opportunity. I feel like there was a big missed opportunity with the naming thing, and they kind of, when you go on their website, like for the platform, they kind of allude to it. But why in God's green earth did they not? They had a perfect title in waiting. They could have just called the streaming service the Disney Vault. Everybody kind of knows what that is. Everybody already kind of knows what that is already. So you already kind of have I guess you already have brand recognition, but whatever. I'm not a business person.
Right.
But it's kind of like one of those things, like, it makes sense. It's like when you were a kid, when I was a kid, when you get like the big VHS boxes, they were like, coming soon from the Disney Vault. It was like, it had, when you were a kid, that had mythical proportions. It's like, what else is in there? Now, as a cynical adult, I joke that Walt Disney's Frozen Head is probably realistically in there. But regardless,
I wonder if they called it Disney Plus because they have the ESPN streaming thing, and that's called ESPN Plus, or if it's like Disney plus other things. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
I guess. I will say ESPN. I will say, so I did the bundle thing. To try to save a little money on it. I will say I'm probably going to just get rid of the bundle thing, mainly for the fact that I tried watching Monday Night Football. Fun fact, you do not get Monday Night Football with ESPN, so with ESPN Plus. Kind of disappointed in that.
I did hear about that. So,
yeah.
Haha, you suck, you idiot.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, cool. Like, it was like one of those things, like, perfect. I get to justify my purchase of multiple streaming platforms at once by being able to watch Monday Night Football on our TV, and it couldn't do that. So, a little bit disappointed. So I'm like, well, I really don't watch sports that much. So it's kind of like, I'm probably going to cut that out.
You're like, I'm going to start watching sports. I'm making sure that this is a worthwhile purchase. Yeah. I will start following the XFL.
Hey, as according to Vince McMahon, it's the extra fun league.
Yeah. So okay. Going back on here. So how about this? High School Musical, the series. You gonna check that one out?
It's probably not on my. I'll be honest. Probably not on my list of things. As a youth, as a young buck, I was not the biggest. I did not like High School Musical. I did not watch it.
You had all the DVDs. You're like, Zac Efron, you're so cute. Will you marry me?
Hey, I only had that poster up for only a couple of years on my wall, so...
my sister was supposed to go in that room, and she didn't, so I just never bothered taking it down.
Yeah. I mean, it just... I don't know. It wasn't really my thing. That was more always Carolyn's thing. I didn't even realize that they were even making something involving High School Musical. Like, to be perfectly honest, until I was kind of scrolling, and I was like, "Oh, well, that's a thing." So I'm probably gonna go nay on that one. I don't.
Okay. All right. Let's move on down. Let's talk about things that haven't been released yet. Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of excited for this. I kind of got into the Clone Wars show a little bit, probably right after I think they stopped making new episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I did now the one thing I will say, kind of connecting this to The Mandalorian, I think the director of the first episode is actually the main guy behind the Clone Wars TV show, Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni, yeah. Mr. I wear a cowboy hat wherever I go.
He is desperately trying to make it a thing. If you're going to be that guy who wears a hat at every occasion indoors, you might as well. Or if you're going to try to cultivate an image, there's worse images to cultivate. But no, so I'm kind of interested to see how that comes back. Although, kind of connecting to another issue, this relates to the Clone Wars on Netflix, but also to a couple of the shows that they put on their platform.
Mm-hmm.
So the big thing with the original run of the Clone Wars TV show is if you went onto Netflix and you just said, I'm going to watch Season 1, Episode 1, or I'm not sure if it's a Netflix issue or if it's how they broadcasted it, because George Lucas is a crazy person, you actually have to go onto a forum. You have to go into Star Wars forums to actually look up the correct episode order, because the episodes, if you watch it, Season 1, Episode 1, and I'm just going to binge all of this, they are not in sequential or chronological order. like events from like one episode, um, like the events leading up to that episode will have happened like 3 episodes prior, or like something like that.
Well,
There's like a weird numbering thing.
I do know, and I don't know if it's still on Netflix. I really don't. But and I never watched it on Netflix. I got the DVDs from Netflix and watched off the DVDs.
Mhm.
But I do know that Clone Wars, when it was made, like the episodes were, with the exception of like they had like 3 or 4 episode story arcs. Like the
Right.
stories themselves were always out of order, and that never made any sense to me. Like an episode in season 1 would have its prequel, so to say, in like season 3. Um,
Yes.
and I think that's how the show was intentionally done because it was meant to be more of an anthology series. But as the series went along, they downplayed that and it became more in order. But yeah, uh, the only reason I think Clone Wars is coming back is to get people to sign up for Disney Plus because
Well,
Clone Wars is a dead show.
mhm,
It was getting kind of long in tooth, but they thought,
mhm.
we have a couple of episodes that weren't quite finished yet. We could just throw this on here, and people will sign up and get it.
Well, here's kind of the weird thing. I'll go to not a major tangent, just a minor one. They've already done this stunt before. Like I think a couple years back, they had. I think going back to Netflix,
The lost
they released like
episodes.
exactly. They did that on Netflix, where it was like a couple like story arcs that they hadn't fully developed, and they were like, you know what, we're just going to dump them on Netflix. Here you go.
Hmm.
So they've already done this stunt once before. In two, and this is kind of a follow-up thing. I know the Star Wars fan base is kind of divided on this, but Rebels is a sequel series to the Clone Wars. Like
Yes,
I think Ahsoka Tano
they
and
bring
Captain
in.
and like
Yeah, they brought. I've never seen Rebels. I hear it's pretty
it's
good.
pretty good.
I,
Mhm.
I've heard that they bring in, because the same people who made Clone Wars made Rebels, that they've brought in a
Yes,
lot of the storylines that they didn't quite finish up to like they incorporate them into Rebels. Like I think you said like Captain Rex in there and
yeah,
Ahsoka Tano and uh, probably a
yeah.
few others. Isn't Darth didn't
My
Darth Maul pop up in there too?
yes he does. So kind of like the big reveal at the end of season one is Ahsoka Tano is a lot, is still alive, after the events of the Clone Wars show. And I think it's the finale of season two that they bring Darth Maul as a character back, and they do wrap his like kind of story in this ultimately in the Star Wars universe in Rebels.
Really? I heard they
Uh,
cut it.
ah,
Because he gets chopped
but
up.
yeah, but a
I'll be
big
here all week. Tip your waitresses.
but that's kind of my thing is just like, well, that's kind of my whole sort of disposition. It's like, well, Clone Wars kind of storylines that were started in Clone Wars kind of were answered in this sequel series. So it's kind of one of those like, what more are you going to be able to tell that wasn't already told? Like I feel like the creators got the opportunity to kind of wrap up those stories in one way or another.
Hmm.
It's like, what else can you kind of tell without it seeming like, well, we kind of know where a lot of this stuff ends.
Well,
So what?
they'll just retell the story of the Chancellor getting kidnapped leading into Episode 3 because they've done that like 5 times already.
Yeah, yeah. I think they even did that in the 2D animated Clone Wars TV show.
They
So
did.
why not?
They did. I think we watched that together when you were like a little kid. I was at your house and it was on TV.
Yep.
But anyway, all right. So that's Clone Wars. Let's go into some of the Marvel stuff.
Mhm.
I'm going to just rattle them all off
Go.
because I don't want to go through these each individually. We'll be here forever. We got Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, WandaVision, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk. Any of those you're looking forward to?
Definitely would say. I mean, I hate to be like the stereotypical fanboy, but probably most of them. I would say. I would say if for the live action stuff, it's kind of a double edged sword. I'll be honest. Like, if I could be like, yes, I like the idea that so after seeing the Mandalorian and seeing like the level of quality that they're willing to put into some of these original programming, such as that. I'm definitely interested to see how that will translate for the Marvel stuff. And most of the shows, yeah, they sound interesting. especially after Endgame. It's like, oh, it's kind of like, oh, they're doing a show with Captain and the Winter Soldier. That's kind of weird. But then after Endgame, oh, it's going to be a Captain America TV show, pretty much. Um,
Yeah.
Wanda, most of the shows sound interesting in some capacity, but I will say it also is then going to make it, hey, do you want to keep up with the Marvel universe going forward? Well, not only are you going to have to buy tickets to see all these movies in theater or buy them on DVD, you're also going to have to follow 5 or 6 TV shows that are 8 hours
Yeah.
plus.
I mean, now you have to do homework for these movies even more than you had to do before. It's like they're saying like if you want to understand Doctor Strange Part 2, you got to watch Loki and WandaVision. It's like
Yeah, like I gotta do homework to just enjoy a movie. Like,
yeah.
but on top of that, I mean, you could argue that they've. I'm only interested just because they've said they're going to do like, oh, it'll be a massive multimedia connected universe, which I think people were told with Agents of Shield, and then quickly all connected to the Marvel movies
Oh
got
yeah.
dropped as soon as they realized, hey, Samuel L. Jackson is expensive.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the Netflix TV shows, oh yeah, well, this is going to be a street level, but still going to be connected to the Marvel universe. Yeah,
No.
totally. This is not.
It,
Totally, this will not fit into quippy jokes of Star Lord and Rocket Raccoon.
well,
So we're going to kind of drop that too.
like the thing is like the Netflix shows, I haven't seen all of them because they're boring. But the Netflix shows are like they can work without having to connect to the larger events, but it's clear as given the events of Endgame, if the Netflix shows continued on, that's a pretty big
They
elephant in the room.
they would have to address some things. I would say my biggest gripe, kind of with the Netflix shows at least, is when it's like they couldn't even talk about like the MCU. You ever
Yeah,
notice that? Like they always alluded to like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, but they always did it in such weird ways. Like, oh, do you mean the guy with the magic hammer? Like,
yeah. I was like,
or something like that. It was very,
like oh,
yeah, it was very weird.
I'm selling videotapes of the event, like the events of Avengers. I
Yeah,
think they keep it very vague. Like you could see the big green guy in here, and it's like, okay, sure,
one, which, quick aside, who the, in the age of YouTube and like Twitter, who is like out on the corner hucking like DVDs or VHSs of like, stuff that was probably covered on like CNN?
I don't know. It was
I'm just,
Harlem. They're selling anything they can,
I
but
guess the hustle. I guess you gotta hustle, but man,
the
you
hustle
know,
is real.
it, the hustle is real. But
So
yeah, that's my main thing. Is like I enjoy the fact that I'm interested to see like, oh hey, they're going to actually, you know, remember that these shows exist. Ver, but at the
because
same time,
there's also those freeform shows like uh,
the Runaways,
Runaways and
and Cloak and
Cloak and
Dagger.
Dagger, yeah, and those are canceled now. Like they
Yeah, no,
canceled them. So I'm guessing they're going to pretend like those never happened. But
nope.
oh well.
Which shows like, quit. I never. Now I will say this: never watched the Runaways. I read the comic book, so I actually know like what the
Nerd.
comic book. Yeah, no, I can read. I read stuff too, Nick. Uh, but I like the Runaways as a comic book. It was a fun little superhero thing, and it was very, it was very kind of disconnected. So that story kind of works. It's not. You're never going to see a character from the Runaway show up on an Avengers line.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, any Runaways fans that there are, all 12 of you that may be listening,
Well,
but
again, like the Netflix shows, though, they're going to have a big elephant in the room with Endgame and
yeah.
Infinity War. So anyway,
So it
enough about that. Of the Marvel shows, I am intrigued about the Falcon and Winter Soldier because that storyline, it's looking like they're roughly adapting one of my personal favorite Captain America storylines. Although this version won't have Captain America in it, so I'm intrigued about how they're going to execute it. And I'm looking forward to that. And it also looks like they're bringing back Baron Zemo from a quote unquote Baron Zemo because I don't care what you say, that was not Baron Zemo in that movie in Civil War. But they're giving him his trademark mask, But
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I don't know why he would be wearing the mask because his character, as depicted in Civil War, would not be wearing a mask because
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
Nick, they gave him the purple ski mask to please fans like you and me. Be like, look, see, he's got the mask now. Please love us.
I guess, but I am intrigued on that. That one doesn't come until about a year from now, so
Yeah,
we'll go
that's
there.
that's probably I think that's probably the biggest disappointment for a lot of people. I think who are kind of like the first adopters of this is like I think a lot of people were excited for those Marvel shows.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if you did like a on the streets like polling like man on the street thing. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I really want to watch those Marvel shows. But like, congratulations, you got to wait a whole year before you even get a hint of like what these shows are going to be like.
Right.
So, have fun. Keep subscribing for $6.99 a month, idiot.
All right. Let's let's move over a little bit to the original films that are going to be premiering on Disney Plus.
Yes.
And it seems like I'm going through this list. Looks like they're, as I say, original films. I use that in quotes because a lot of them seem to be reboots. Like,
Yep.
for example, or sequels. For example, we have the live-action Lady and the Tramp movie, which apparently was
Yep.
not good enough for theaters, so now that's on the streaming service. Um,
Yep.
they're going to do a Three Men and a Baby remake because that needed to be remade. A
Wait,
cheaper.
really?
It's in development. Yep.
Oh my God.
I think Three Men and a Baby was a Touchstone picture. Could be wrong on that. Let me look that up. I got right here. Buena Vista Pictures. I'm sorry. So it is a Disney-owned property.
Okay.
They're making a Cheaper by the Dozen reboot because that needs to be rebooted. They're doing a Diary of a Wimpy Kid reboot. Wasn't that just rebooted like a year ago?
Yeah, that's not too old. I mean, that was like in theaters. Now they're just well.
They're doing a Father of the Bride reboot because everyone remembers that. They're doing Hocus Pocus 2. No, don't do that. That's a terrible idea.
Is Bette Midler still alive?
She is.
Oh, she is. Oh God, they're gonna wheel her out of the retirement home. And be like, get in this costume.
I mean, I could see the cast wanting to come back, but like the movie ended.
Yeah.
I don't. There's like the riches are dead. I mean, I guess they could. Shut
You
up.
know what, Nick? It's magic. It's magic and money. We can make something happen.
It's kind of magic. They're doing a Home Alone reboot.
Oh God.
No, don't do that. Every Home Alone has been a series. There's been 5 films in that series. Yes, 5, and they've been
Ew.
diminishing returns each time. They're doing a reboot of A Night at the Museum. Again, why? Didn't that? I feel like that series just ended.
It kind of. It was a cute idea for a children's film, then it pilfered out. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
They're
Oh my
doing.
God.
They're doing. They're remaking The Parent Trap. Maybe they'll get Lindsay Lohan to play the mom this time. Um, It's like, no, I'm playing the daughter. Where's my cocaine? So they're also doing Peter Pan because I guess they don't want to put that in theaters. That's going to be a thing. And they want to make Sister Act 3. Why?
Oh, geez.
Because sure, because that's what we do now. That's what Hollywood is. We make a sequel to a movie that's like decades old, and wheel out the old stars for like a quick paycheck and a quick like, hey, remember us? And that's how this works now.
Well, it's somebody in the Disney executive office be like, hey, you know what I want to see? Sister Act Part 3. Everyone's like, well, nobody wants to actually watch that. It's 2019. Nobody's thought about Sister Act in like 20 years. But that one guy's like, yeah, but I really want to see it. All right, you can go make it on the streaming service. We're keeping it out of the real movies or something.
Right. And then they're making, I'm guessing this is live action, a remake of Sword in the Stone, which I can get behind.
Okay.
I can get behind that. That's I mean, do we need another King Arthur movie? Maybe not, but there's room for that one.
I mean, that's not a. I mean, of all the ones I'll be honest, I have not heard of. I didn't even know that they were making any of those. Like those were in the pipeline at all.
Then up until about 10 minutes ago, you lived in a better world than I did.
Yeah. Like, well, one, I didn't realize. So Disney has access to all those like kind of classic '80s sort of rom-coms and stuff like that. But two, just like it goes back to it goes back to that age old debate of like, do we need a remake of this? Do we need this? I mean, the
Yes.
movie that exists now is fine as it is. It's fine. Who wants to see any like? I'll be honest. Like, I'm glad it's on a streaming platform where I'm only paying for it again, mostly to watch my silly space shows and my silly superhero shows. But it's like, unless I am like absolutely bored out of my skull, I am not going to waste my time and energy watching any of those movies you just described. Like, you could have made some of those up, and I would have believed you. Because, I mean, Disney's big enough. I'm sure, like, yeah, they probably own the rights somewhere. But still, it's like, yeah, none of those are like, I don't know, like, Nick, as a father of young children, would your daughters be interested in seeing any of those movies except like, hey, I need to distract you guys while I'm doing the laundry or something?
Difficult to say because I don't know what they're doing with it. I mean, kids like to watch a lot of stupid things. Granted, my children are under 2 years old, but have you seen the stuff that's on Disney Channel or Nickelodeon? It's a lot of stupid stuff. Some of it's good, but it's a lot of stupid stuff. So, like something like I don't know, The Parent Trap. If it's fun, light, and bubbly like the other versions have, I could see my kids wanting to watch it. Hocus Pocus 2, sure. I like the first one. I'll like the second one. Kids like sequels, even if they're no good. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah. So maybe. I mean, it all depends on how it looks and if it's something they be into. But maybe I don't know.
Nick, I have a distinct feeling like, you know how I was praising The Mandalorian for like, oh, the production, the look of the show, it looks, it feels like a movie. I have a very, very, very strong feeling these will not have the same level of quality. Be like, look, we got to give all of our money to the Star Wars show. You get $5. Have fun.
Well, many of these are 20th Century Foxes, so that might be something. But yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Apparently, they.
Uh,
I wonder what the. I'm gonna look up something. What's the? I know they also released a Christmas movie called Noel,
uh,
starring
oh, uh,
starring Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader, which apparently has gained terrible reviews, which is a shame. But I'm curious, what's the reception to Lady of the Tramp? Um,
uh,
it's gained average reviews. It's the live action update
what?
lacks the magic. Probably because they don't have the racist cats in there.
That was the glue. That was the glue that was holding that film together.
They took out the Asian
But
stereotype cats. That movie fell apart after that.
yeah. Well, even like
We are
even going back
Siamese.
to
That's a song that's in the
yeah,
movie.
it, it's in a Disney classic, folks. But even going back to like the Lady and the Tramp thing, really quick. I mean, they in terms of like something that's you could argue is a made-for-TV movie. I mean, they got actual like actual like actors that people know. Like I think Justin Theroux, Tessa Thompson. Actual people. Not like when you watch a TV movie, it's like, oh, those are TV movie actors versus like actors that are in like real movies and stuff like that. But I think the first trailer like kind of showed, oh hey, look at the look of it. It's like, oh, this doesn't look too bad. And then I think one of the trailers like showed the dogs talking. It's like, oh no, oh no, this does not look good. Like I think the first still was like of the two, like actual dogs that they trained to like sit and like look this way. And it's like, oh, that looks cute. And there's like another trailer that showed them with their mouths moving. It's like, oh no.
Stuff of nightmares.
I mean, it's not great. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's probably like a mild night terror, but it's still approaching that uncanny valley of just like, oh no, we're trying to match human lips to animal mouths, which don't work because animals aren't built the same way as people. It's apparently it's the same issue. Well, I actually talked about this with a coworker at work. A little quick aside. So this is in relation to the reboot, and again, I'm using air quotes, of the Lion King movie. So I was in the clearance section of Walmart, as you are, And I think they had a bunch of those pop vinyls. You know what I'm talking about? The little
Oh yes, I
the little
know.
toy thing. So they had a bunch of Lion King's ones in like clearance section. Now here's kind of like the bit. I think this pretty much summarizes the problem with all the live action remakes. We'll call them of like of like classic Disney movies. They had a couple of different ones. They had some from that were based on the original animated film. Bright colors, very distinct designs, and they were cute. I'll admit it, they were cute, recognizable. It was like, oh, there's little Timon, there's little Simba. Like they look nice. And then next to it were the pop vinyls from the Lion King reboot, and they looked absolutely horrifying. Like they had realistic animal proportions. Like they did not look cute at all. They looked absolutely monstrous. Like just Google Lion King 2019 pop vinyl, and you will see what I'm talking about. Like they look like the big thing that I think of those pop vinyl figures, like the eyes, like usually are just like a solid color or something like that. Usually just like black or something. And that's what was on the classic ones. But I think the newer ones had like some sort of weird where they tried to do some color things to make it look more realistic or something, but it looked absolutely terrifying. I'm like, what kid would want this? And that kind of goes back into the whole like wave of these newer films. It's like, who would want this? This is like taking something that's nice and pleasant, something you remember from your childhood, and turning it into a living nightmare of like, well, one, I've already seen the story, so I know how it ends, but two, it's like it looks terrible. So it's like it's the same story, but it looks and feels a lot worse. What's the? I mean, besides money. I mean, money is the key thing, but what is the absolute like? Who wants to see this? And yet the movies somehow make stupid amounts of money, like more money than you and I can ever imagine. I mean, I get it. I'm not. I mean, I absolutely get it, but at the same time, it's just like I don't know. It's just one of those things where just like I look at it, and maybe this is the old man in me starting to come out, but I look at it and just like nothing about this seems appealing. Like nothing about this is like, oh, I want to see that. Everything looks lifeless and dull and just not fun, you know. And that's kind of like I think that's and I'll say this as like a moviegoer. I think that's kind of a big issue. I think films should be colorful or should say something. I mean, to you're not really adding anything to a story by giving it sort of realistic a realistic viewpoint unless you're not really adding anything to the story by doing it this way, because it's like we've seen what the story can be when you give it life, when you give it personality versus the same bland aesthetic, the same bland look to every single one of these movies.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah.
No,
You know
you're
what?
you're
Just
not
you know,
wrong.
you know
You're not wrong on that, but it's a fad right now. It's got to ride the wave and then get through whatever the next fad will be. But
yeah,
let's move back to Disney Plus. Let's wrap this up because we've been going on a long time about this. At least it feels like we've been going on a
yeah.
long time, despite the fact of our many breaks. But uh, yeah, they're bringing back Lizzie McGuire because that's something people want. And do you have anything to say about the Cassian Andor series? The
Wait,
cor-
is that
the correct That's a real thing. The correct answer is no because Cassian Andor is a boring character from a boring movie that no one remember. Well, no one remembers him. Like,
yeah,
no, we're not talking about. We're done. that's
okay.
that's the thing that happened. So that's all I got. I think Disney Plus has overall, even though half the shows I don't know, I'll take it or leave it. I think they have a wide selection of original content that they're trying to get done. I think it's definitely a good value for your money. I know I sound like a Disney shill, and Bob Iger, I'll take that check now. But
Yeah,
it's I think it has a lot of potential. I think it will be like a true rival to Netflix in a way that
yeah,
like Hulu and I don't know what other rival would up there would be for them, but Amazon Prime, I guess. Hulu and Amazon Prime seem
yeah.
to be the biggest rivals, I would say. mostly because people get Amazon Prime automatically when they want the free shipping. But I guess we'll see how it all shakes out. I mean, it's already making money, so we'll find out.
Yeah.
I would say let's review this topic in a year, but no, we're not.
No, I think maybe depending on how, I think personally, I think depending on how prevalent it becomes in kind of like our pop in like kind of our pop culture like lexicon of terms of like kind of like how Netflix is kind of being like, okay, we're gonna watch oh, this is our gonna be how we're gonna view this movie or how we're gonna view this show. I think it's gonna be the same thing. I think in maybe a few years' time, I think it could reach that level. I do agree. It's just because it's like, unless I'm really in the mood for a particular Disney film, I don't think I'm going to binge it the same way I can like scroll through Netflix and kind of find something. Just because with Disney, you kind of know what you're getting. Versus like when you're on Netflix, you never really know what's on there because there's such a wide array of stuff that they put out. Um, Definitely, again, I definitely think there are some like shining stars. Again, I do keep going back to the Star Wars show because it's like it is their big thing. It is their to use a term from video games. It's the system seller. It's like you're going to watch this because of this particular show. Which I think
it's
some
its
of the
killer app, as the tech people would say.
that's exactly it.
Are you sure the killer
Which
app
I think,
isn't the Parent Trap remake?
uh, depending on depending on
The correct answer is yes.
who are the parent, yeah, depending on who are the parents getting trapped, I would be very intrigued. But
Maybe it would be Dennis
I'll be
Quaid
honest,
again in his coke-fueled rage.
I think he was in some sort of commercial. He was like shilling some sort of product. I'm like, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Yeah, that's what it was. I mean, Dennis Quaid seems to be doing pretty well for himself. I mean, he's not Randy Quaid.
Well,
I mean,
who can be?
yeah. You're not. I mean, he hasn't lost his mind like his brother. So, I mean, that's the one thing he's got going for him. But no, I'll be honest, Nick. Most of those movies that you announced that were in the pipeline, I'm like, I do not want. Like, I have no.
You wrote
even
down
if it
the
was
dates,
in a movie,
and you're like, I know I'm taking off work next year for Lizzie McGuire when that
yep.
comes back.
Nick, how did you know? I was gonna get popcorn, sit in my underwear, and just enjoy the day. You ruined the moment for me. No, but I think maybe maybe a year or two, we could see how it could possibly evolve into something that's more prevalent and more kind of like good. But for right now, I think it's kind of a one. For right now, I think the thing is it's kind of a one-trick pony. Like after the Mandalorian ends, I may still keep it. I may not. I mean, until like at least one of them.
Cancel it until the next season comes out.
Yeah, cancel it until those Marvel shows come out.
So, all right. Well, I got nothing else to say. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Disney Plus, get it if you want. Don't get it if you want. I don't know. It's up to you. We're not telling you what to do.
Yeah, Disney may have paid us off. Who knows? Tune in next week.
Yeah, who are we to say? But I'll okay. So let's that's it. I don't have trivia. We give enough trivia. I'm Nick.
I'm Cousin Charles.
And this has been an incoherent, rambling episode of the all new Culture Cast. We'll be back maybe next week. I don't know. I know Cousin and I in December we're going to be talking about some crisis stuff going on. So stay tuned.
Yes.
Stay tuned to that. That's going to be fun. And we're also going to be doing the Christmas Prince Part 3. I don't know if Cuz will be there, but I'm definitely going to be there because this is my jam.
After seeing the Christmas Prince Part 2, I am definitely in for Part 3, The Royal Baby.
Gotta find out how the trilogy ends. I mean, some people are like, The Last Skywalker. I'm like, Christmas Prince Part 3.
Nah, fam. Christmas Prince.
Yeah. All right, let's end this thing. I'll talk to you later.
See ya, man.
You've been listening to the all-new CultureCast, where every episode is all new. Check out new episodes and our back catalog at allnewculturecast.libsyn.com. We could also be found on iTunes. The all-new CultureCast, a saltwater production, Copyright 2019. Thanks for listening. But what we do need to talk about is the newest streaming system out there, which is called. Oh wait,
Disney Plus.
oh man, I had a bit for this and I just screwed it in
Oh,
a. Hang on, okay, I'm going to start that over.
okay.
Hang on.
Gotta wet my whistle.
Okay. Um. Wait, hold on, hang on. Pause. We're in
Hit the
pause. Oh, damn it. Hang on.
mulligan.